Good morning. And look at this here. I'm getting up and getting going right as the sun comes up over this tree line there. How about that? Another nice cozy spot, but I got myself 10 hours of sleep again. So hopefully I'm all charged up. 7:59. Yes, it's 7:59. And I'm actually not getting out of here at 10 o'clock or 10:30. So I think 8.5 miles to getting off the parkway and then road walking from there. So let's hit it. I think yesterday I told you, or maybe the day before, that the nights are getting a little bit warmer. Therefore, they're going to be a little bit more humid. That's certainly the case today. My the handles on my poles are just all wet from the humidity from last night. Fortunately, my sleeping bag wasn't too bad. Oops. Where's he going? It's interesting this morning, and I noticed this the other morning when I was walking early, is that there's very little traffic on the road, but probably 3/4 of the time, and now it's not going to happen this time, probably 3/4 of the time when a car is passing me, whether it's coming from in front of me or from behind me, it's usually what happens is there'll be a car from here and a car from behind me pass it. Both, of course, now it's not going to happen. Where a car, and me are all here at the same time. What's the serendipity of that, And like I said, it's been about 3/4 of the time that's happened along this stretch. And like I said, in the early morning the other day as well. Huh. Oh, the things I'm doing for you. I'm walking up this steep trail. You see I don't have my backpack on. This is the Freedom Hills Overlook. And at 800 feet, this will be the highest point in Alabama on the Natchez Trace. I don't think it's the highest point in Alabama, but anyway, the highest point on the trace. Yeah, it is pretty steep here. And here we are. I thought the view was actually going to be that way, but it's out over the east and the northeast. Pretty nice, huh? Up here above it all. Freedom Hills Overlook. Now, we are continuing. Let's see. We're continuing this way on Natchez Trace. That's dropping down. That's dropping down to the Tennessee River, which I don't think we're going to quite be on today, but I think definitely tomorrow we'll be on it. Freedom Hills Overlook, 800 feet. Highest point on Natchez Trace in Alabama. And then the Tennessee border is actually probably 20 miles over that way. Okay, I did my duty for you. Now we're gonna walk back. And I have to say, again, this particular time of the year, this exact time of the year, is just about perfect to be in the woods and be in this area, because you've got the changing leaves, but the leaves haven't all dropped. So you've got some opening of the forest. So it's just not a big sea of green that you can't see through, but you still have leaves that still hide and conceal you without it being completely stripped bare. What am I even blabbering about? So that couple there, they're from Gulfport, Mississippi, and asked them if they're driving the whole trace, and they said no, they're just going up as far as Tennessee River, and they're going into Muscle Shoals. So maybe we'll cross paths again. But probably not. They're in a car, so they'll be way ahead of me. Well, they might cross paths with me in about a mile from now, but okay. So now I got a trivia question for you. If this is the highest point in Alabama on the Natchez Trace, what is the highest point in Alabama, and where is it? And then extra credit for you. Go search one of my Van Across America videos, I think from a year or so ago. Well, maybe a year and a half ago. Where we went to the highest point in Mississippi. Was it Woodall Mountain or Woodward Mountain? Woodall Mountain. How high is the highest point in Mississippi? So that's your extra credit question. Put your answer down in the description. Maybe there's a prize involved. There's a deer in there somewhere. I can hear it. Earlier this morning I heard some deer as well. And then the funny thing is, last night, right when I was getting all settled down, it was dark, and all that, I heard this in the leaves behind me, and it kept getting closer. And I knew it was something smaller. It was just rustling through the leaves, but coming closer and closer. So I turned the light on, see what it was. It was a possum coming right towards me. Guess he smelled something different and good. So I shined my light at him and said, "Hey, what are you doing, buddy?" And he turned around and went away. So no company last night. This is pretty nice. After that high point, we've got all this downhill into the river valley. You know, when you're going slow like this, you really get appreciation for the way that the land is shaped. And, you know, did the river form this depression, or was this depression here and that's what formed the channel of the river? Probably a little bit of the both, right? Whereas if you look at well, I'm guessing it's probably the hills form the direction of the river. Whereas if you look at the flat land, particularly, say, look at the Mississippi, and you see all those oxbows, and how the course of the river, I mean, it's amazing how, you know, it shifted 10 miles from one side to the other, and it just continuously does that. Whereas the river just following these valleys here, it's pretty much confined to the valley, but in certain places it'll just carve a deeper channel where you get these pretty looking canyons from place to place. It's always been fun crossing these little country roads, whether they've been paved or dirt, and without looking at the map, just kind of wondering, I wonder where those go. Something to come back and explore, huh? So I stopped to take a break here at this place called, what's it called? Buzzard Roost Springs. And I'm going to savor the moment while I'm here. You know why? It's because we're getting off the Natchez Trace here. As you can see, taking 72 the other way, we're going the other way. But there's something else about this Buzzard Roost Springs. I'll tell you, it was one of the nicer, they call them stands, but it was actually an inn. One of the nicer stands along the Trace. It's owned by a guy named Levi Colbert. His father was Scottish, his mother was Chickasaw, and he evidently built up a pretty good place here because it was like one of the jewels of the stands along the Trace, and people were always talking about it. The other thing that was noticeable about the guy, though, is that he was a pretty good negotiator, they say, and that's what helped build up his business to be pretty good. And also, he was in the process of negotiating better terms for the Chickasaw. And while he was doing that, though, he died. So anyway, Buzzard Roost Springs, gonna stay here for a bit, savor the moment, and then we're gonna be on a road walk into Muscle Shoals. Pretty much a road walk all the way on into the Huntsville area. I think we're going to Madison. I'm gonna stay with Sherry and Jim for a couple days. So let's just savor the last of our nature here and get used to, you can probably hear it. Well, now the traffic's gone by. Get used to traffic noise and trains. I've heard like 4 trains go by in the past hour. So goodbye to Natchez Trace. There's your last look of it. Been on about, what, 56 miles? Now we're going on to the noisy US Highway 72. And here we go. US Highway 72. Going about 3 miles that way to a place called Cherokee. Gonna get something to eat. And I need to recharge my battery. One of my batteries, they're both dead. But I have to get at least one of them recharged. So when I'm eating, hopefully they'll let me charge up. And depending upon how much charge I get into it, I might have to go over to the library after that. So it could be just a short day after eating, or I might be able to still get another 4 or 5 miles in. That's been noisy. And now, turning on to this old Lee Highway, which I guess was the old US Highway. It should be nice and quiet. I think we got about another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes before we get something to eat. Something to eat, something to eat, something to eat. It's pretty interesting. When I was walking on the Trace this morning, off in the distance, I heard like 4 trains. That would have been between, say, 8 o'clock and maybe noon. Maybe 8 and 11. 4 trains. Haven't heard one since. I guess they've got rush hours just like with cars. I got all filled up. Chicken and dressing, green beans, cream corn, cranberry sauce, cornbread, milkshake, iced tea, salad, pie and ice cream. I'm filled up for now. Iced tea, I said that right? I just found out there's a guy walking across America. He started in Oregon. He's over here in Burnsville, Mississippi, which is 21 miles west of here. And he's headed to South Carolina. What do you know? Small world. So we might run into each other somewhere down the line here. It's interesting. So I came across this guy. There's a actually a Facebook page called called USA Crossers, and it is what the name implies. Oh, look, here's the town hall for Cherokee. So it's a group for people who have crossed the United States. I think it originally started as mostly runners that have run across, and there's a good amount of people that are on there that are runners that are running across the U.S., but there's also people that walk. So that's how I came across them. I just found out about that about him just right now. So if we see each other, we'll see each other. If not, maybe he's going to leapfrog over me when I take a couple days off and up here in Madison. Or, I don't know, we'll see. So it's just about 3 o'clock right now. I'm going to try and make it 7.1 miles. There's some federal land right up near the river. If I can't make that, I think there's a spot 5.4 miles up ahead. I think is state property, and that'll be over on the other side of the highway. And I'm just looking at these forests to make sure. Yeah, they'll be conducive to camping. So naturally, I'd like to make the 7.1 because it's 26 miles to the Wilson Dam. And if I can do 7 more miles today, which will give me 7.5, 3, 10.5, about 18 miles on the day. I think I do 19 miles tomorrow, set up for the dam and cross the dam the next day. And I think there's a spot I can stealth camp near the dam tomorrow. See what the rest of the day brings. The sun's going to set at 7:08. So let's get a move on, get a move on, get a move on. Looking for an antique shop to buy? Here's one right here. It's for sale. It's Queenie's Antique Shop, Cherokee, Alabama. You got a friendly little dog across the way there. So I just caught sight of the train at the last minute. You probably can't see up ahead, but there's 3 engines on the front. But I didn't know there's a BNSF locomotive on the front, and there's two Norfolk Southern locomotives behind it. I didn't know that those 2 companies merged. BNSF and Norfolk Southern. Huh. And now every time these trains go by, I always look to see if there's any train hoppers. These are usually the type of cars they go on now because there's very few box cars these days. So far I haven't seen any. And no, I wouldn't turn them in. Nope, didn't see anyone riding the rails. I know, Chris, Crazy Vet, are you doing that? Have you been doing that in your silence since the Florida Trail? This might be a place to camp instead. Go take a look. Yeah, there's houses on all sides, so probably not a good idea. Especially if they have dogs. Dog will be barking all night. Oh, what's going on over there? I did notice in that cemetery, right there when I walked in, took a quick glance, There's somebody born in 1876, died in 1969, so 93 years old. A long life, and I suppose it would have been a happy life if they lived that long, right? Now I do see there are some woods over here on the other side of the train tracks. I have to see how deep those woods are, and no, there's a house over there. Okay, scratch that. Good deal. I got here with about 30 minutes to spare. Looks like it'll be another nice cozy spot. It's just a little access road to the power plant. It is pretty close to the train tracks. I just heard a train go by. But I also saw some deer over here. So maybe I'll have some visitors tonight, huh? Right up down here in the trees. So I have about 17 miles to go to the Wilson Dam tomorrow. If I don't go over it, it looks like there's some woods about a half mile short of it that I can camp in. If I do go over it, it looks like there's some woods right on the other side of it. That would be right across the street from the Marriott. Maybe I could slip in there for some free breakfast tomorrow. Oh, mosquitoes. Hope they don't last all night. So that's it for now. Tennessee River's just right over there. All right, good night. Be in Muscle Shoals tomorrow. Good morning. Another nice night in the woods. No dew, but everything is certainly damp from the humidity. So the goal today is get into Muscle Shoals and either camp as close as I can to the dam or get over the dam and camp right after that. And I'm not going to have a whole lot of filming today, at least for the first half of the day, because I'm down to 31% on the phone and both my batteries are dead. So I think there's a truck stop up here in about 8 miles, so hopefully I can charge up then. And then I'm going to go stop at a laundromat in 13 miles and dry out the dampness from the bag. So that's the plan, and if there's something that I really need to show you, I'll show it to you. Otherwise, I got to save the power. Save the power. And there you have it. All clear. Out onto the loud highway. Also, did I tell you this? That guy is about, the other guy walking across America, he's about, excuse me, 8 miles behind me last night. So, I don't know if he's behind me still, or if he got an early start. Anyway, I think this is the only chance we're going to cross, because I'm going to cross the river, and he's staying on the south side of the river, from what I understand. I looked, he's got an Instagram, and he, it looks like he's ending over at, couldn't really tell the detail on his map, but it looks like either Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, or Savannah, Georgia there. So if I see him up ahead, or if he catches up to me back behind me, then you get to meet him. Otherwise, that's about it for the filming for now. See you in a few hours, I guess. I stopped at the Dollar General back there for about 45 minutes. I was able to charge my phone up to about 60%, so I'm okay for now. I kind of took my time over there for see if that I see that guy behind me, but so far no. What was I going to say? So I had a healthy breakfast of a honey bun, tropical fruit mix, and orange juice. So that'll give me a few calories to the next stop. And I think we have about, another 4 miles till where the road splits. So as you can tell, I'm off the highway. It's right over there. And the guy's not behind me. This obviously was the old highway. I'm on this for about another mile and then it gets back on the regular highway. And then there'll be a split where this highway over here turns kind of southeasterly, and I'll turn northeasterly to go into town proper. And I think that guy's just going to be staying on the highway. I think I read his Instagram thing. He's going to stay in a motel that's on the south side of town. That's right on the highway. So if we see him, we see him. If we don't, we don't. Oh, if you wanted to check him out, he's on Instagram. And I think his Instagram handle is Oregon to Carolina, all spelled out, not a number. Oregon to Carolina. It's a hot one today, boy oh boy. So I turned off the highway. Got a couple things to drink there at the truck stop. No sign of that guy, so I'm sure he's still a little bit behind me. So anyway, good luck. I think his name's Matt. Good luck, Matt, on the rest of your trip. Now, we're going up through Tuscumbia into Muscle Shoals. If I don't make any more stops, I can make it to the dam before nightfall. But I am going to stop and pop the sleeping bag into a dryer for a few minutes, get out the clumps of down that are all clumping up at the top. And I'm also going to stop and eat something. So, good chance we're going to find a camping spot if I get to the foot of the dam. We're going to get there at night. That won't be too good, but oh well, gotta do what you gotta do, because there ain't gonna be nothing. I'm talking like a southerner. Ain't gonna be nothing really as I'm going through town. So take a look at this thing here. I just asked the guy, what are they doing? This contraption here rests over the tracks, and it's so advanced that when the train goes by, it x-rays and takes pictures of the train, and it will detect loose bolts and screws and that stuff on the train. So there's one of the cameras right there. And then I guess those are magnetometers and lights and stuff. It takes pictures of the train, I guess the undercarriage, so that when the train goes by, if it's got loose things that are unsafe, it makes a report so that when the train gets ahead up to the yard, then they can go inspect that car and then fix it as they need it. So just think of the manpower that saves, you know. I guess, I don't know how often they have to inspect cars, but if this does it in just like that, then imagine how much money that saves. It'd be interesting to calculate, you know, how much that costs versus how much manpower it takes to currently inspect the cars, And then what is the payoff time on that contraption there? Huh. Did I get into a time warp? Isn't Valdosta in Georgia? Huh. What am I thinking of? There's Vidalia. And then there's, yeah, Valdosta. Huh. Where have I been sleeping? Rip Van Winkle. Yeah, look at this. We're back on a dirt road. It's only going to be for about a quarter mile, but I'll take it. This is a nice bridge to have replaced that suspension bridge there, huh? Or not suspension. Well, I guess it is. Anyway, nice little creek. So we're going to, I think, the downtown area of Tuscumbia. Oh, look at this. Covered bridge for a train. I'm going to get something to eat. And after that, can go to the laundromat. After that, I'm going to get as close to the dam as possible. If I still have light, I'll cross the dam today. This is a nice little park. Huh. So I didn't know all this was here. It's a hidden gem. If you ever get out this way in Alabama, it's not too far from Huntsville, or Huntsville as they might say. Tuscumbia, which is just right next door to Muscle Shoals, has this nice park. And I just learned, or I probably learned it a long time ago, but forgot it all. Tuscumbia is the birthplace of Helen Keller. I bet you that's nice and refreshing. Don't think I could get away with taking a dip in there, though. I'll just imagine it. Luscious water. All right, we're going up there on the other side of the tower. So here's Tuscumbia, downtown area, and I'll see if I can give you the history without mangling it. But the area was first populated, I guess you could say, in the 1700s with the French when they got up here. And then they eventually departed, and this became did not become part of it. But American people came in. The first permanent American settlers came in by keelboat, 1817. And the town was named Big Spring then, but it was changed to Tuscumbia in honor of one of the Chickasaw Indian chiefs that lived here. What also got the town going is that the federal government built a military road through here and finished it in 1819, and that really made things take off. And then a port was built along the Tennessee River up here. So the steamboats, this is in the 1820s, steamboats would come and offload their stuff and also take stuff. And then after that, the railroad came in. Hello there. Railroad came in, had a line down to Decatur, Alabama. And then that was further extended to Charleston, South Carolina. And the railroad to Decatur helped to get more freight down the river more efficiently, because there was about a 40-mile section between here and down there where the river was shallow and had rapids. So the railroad bypassed that down to Decatur, and then on to Charleston. Tuscumbia was also the most important town and rail line and river freight line for all points southwest into the United States during its time. And then the Civil War came, and because it was so important, there were battles here. The Union Army destroyed a bunch of stuff to keep the Confederacy from making use of Tuscumbia. And after the Civil War, it took a good 20 years or so for Tuscumbia to get back going. During that time, there was also a tornado that wiped out about 1/3 of the town at the time. And but Tuscumbia came back, and eventually a courthouse was built. I think it was in 1876, something like that. And Tuscumbia became the county seat of Colbert County. But then the courthouse burned down, and they rebuilt it in 1908. And so that's the courthouse that you see here today. So that's a long short history of Tuscumbia. And I probably mangled it somewhere along the way, but that's what I remember. So we're going to basically walk up Main Street here for a few miles. It's going to turn northeast. Going to stop at the laundromat, like I said, and then try and make it to the dam, which is about 7.5 miles away. And hopefully I'll make it there by dark. And interesting, well, nothing's a coincidence or happens by chance, but in the restaurant there, the guy that waited on me, young guy, he asked me, where was I originally from? Because he said he was from, I told him I was from Southern California. He goes, oh, Southern California, that's where I was from. And I told him Orange County. He goes, Orange County, that's where I was from. So he said that he was from Costa Mesa. The funny thing is that's where I was when I was a kid. So he was a younger guy, but he knows, he knew the stuff I was talking about. And I think I was mentioning this to you the other day about when I was growing up, there was lima bean fields and carrot fields and everything. And he just thought it was funny too when I was telling him when I was growing up there and they were building the 405, Interstate 405. And he's going, Interstate 405 was, I just always remembered as it being there. Because he's 20 something, so I have a few years on him. So I asked him what brought him here to Tuscumbia. And he said it was family, and he also said it was a good thing because he was getting himself into trouble out there, and so this is a good place, a change of pace to get away from the influences he had and start anew. So I didn't catch his name, but if you guys can just pray for him that he keeps strong and his life goes well. Well, look at that. How do they know I'd just be passing through? I don't know if you can see that. It's a self car wash. $7 all you want. That's not a bad deal. I've been known to drop $20 on my ambulance, try and get the salt water out, when salt air. I've been parked on the beach, or to get the mud and dirt off when I've gone through the desert and mountains. So $7, pretty good. I guess it'd be a long drive though to come and wash it if I get it all dirty out there at the coast or in the mountains or in the desert. All right, Roll Tide Laundry, thank you very much. It's nice, clean little laundry. Bye. It's 4:45, and we got 4.8 miles to go. The sun sets at 6:04. So needless to say, we're not going to make the dam by sunset, but in looking at the map, I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, oh, look at that, if it's for sale. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, if they don't close the road over the dam at night, it might be easier just to walk across the bridge and then find a place to camp in the woods on the other side. Because I think those woods are a little bit less dense than the ones on this south side of the river here. So we'll scope it out when we get there. It's nice and cool in there in that laundry. Didn't want to leave. But it's now starting to cool off here, so it's not quite as stifling. There was obviously a building or something here, and look at this, over the years. So this must have been the original tile when it was built, and at some point in time they put mortar over the old tile and put new tile on top of it. I'm guessing that's what it was. Yeah, really a lot of thickets over here. Just what I suspected when looking at the overhead satellite map. I think it's a little bit more open on the woods on the other side. Keeping my fingers crossed anyway. Oh boy. And regardless, the other thing about camping on the other side is that then that'll set me up for 18.5 mile day, I think, to a spot I picked out. That's a free TVA campground, Tennessee Valley Authority. It's right on the river. And that way I won't have to hunt around for public property amongst all the private property that's on that, going in that direction. And then the next day would also be some TVA property 17 miles further. So hopefully this works out tonight. They can easily find something on the other side. Otherwise, maybe I just camp in the park and then ask forgiveness if the sheriff comes by and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Of course, I could just go stay in the Residence Inn, the Marriott. No, it's the Marriott, which is across the street from where I'm gonna try and camp. But why pay $175 for that? Sure, I get a shower and a free breakfast, but I also know too then I would get sucked in and not want to leave the cozy bed. Although, you know something, I found that as I've continued on, it's kind of more comfortable sleeping on the ground to me now. You know, the beds are nice, they're cozy and comfortable, but There's something about the softness of the beds. Even if they've been kind of firmer beds, there's something that I've just adapted to sleeping on the ground that's just it's more comfortable, I guess. I don't know. Maybe because I'm getting all the electrons from the earth. I'm grounding. Well, it looks kind of like an out of sight, out of mind place. Can always come back to this if I have to. I've never camped under a bridge like this, so it was always a first, right? Well, that's a bummer. I wonder, I don't know, because I see there's some sort of half marathon going on, or they're getting ready for. And I'll bet you this is going to be for that. I think I'm going to roll the dice and walk over that. Walk down there? I don't know. Otherwise, I think there's a walkway alongside the bridge over there. So what would you do? Would you chance it and see if you just bet on the come and bet that it's still open? Huh. It's another mile there and a mile back here. Let me think about this. That's certainly a big flag, huh? And they've got it hanging correctly with the blue field on the left. As you can tell, I'm betting on the come. So let's see. All right, this is a positive looking sign. So it says the half marathon going that way. And that's coming from the dam. So maybe it's just the roadway is closed to cars. And it's being used for the half marathon, most likely tomorrow, which is a Saturday. All right, so far so good. There's another sign, I think right over there. Well, drats, drats, and double drats. It says it's construction area, but I don't see anybody. Let's see if there's anybody I can ask. See if there's really any construction going on. Well, here's a nice view of it. Can't make out that sign. So this is the Overlook area. I'm just kind of trying to walk around, see if I find a security guy or something. But no such luck. The actual dam is where you can walk on is right up there. I don't see any construction going on. Rasm frasm. Well, I did some sleuthing. The race is going over the dam in the morning, so I'm gonna go take a chance and walk over it. And if you don't see a video from me for the next year or so, you know what happened. You can send me some bail money.